The freaking update on the Rachel Lindsay, Rachel Kirkpatrick drama is just as messy as we thought, and then some. John Mayer spilled his guts about Britney Spears and also his story about being a major tabloid victim of the early 2000s. Lana Del Ray is going country, y'all! And would it be Wednesday without a little sports recap? I'm Alex Clark, and this is POPlitics. Call me crazy, call me Butimus, but don't call me Shirley. And don't doubt my ability to dang near predict the future on this show.
I can tell you when she will die and what will happen to her family. I love that about me.
In regards to all this Bachelor mumbo jumbo wumbo, I predicted a few things would happen to the franchise in episode 301 if you missed it. One of those things was that Rachel Lindsay would replace Chris Harrison as host. And it looks like I was right, at least temporarily.
Are you?
Yeah, although I wouldn't be shocked if it transitions into a permanent position. ABC asked her to host the After the Final Rose special, and dude, there is so much going on.
What?
First of all, Matt posted a statement and basically said Chris Harrison's interview was painful to watch and the pictures of Rachel Kirkconnell were incredibly disappointing. Now, we know the rumor is that Kirkconnell is the winner of this season, and according to Reality Steve, Matt and her just broke up. So what's probably going to happen is that they will announce their breakup on After the Final Rose.
Oh my word.
I feel really bad for Kirkconnell because she is so totally screwed. I mean, legitimately, she knows she's just going to the electric chair. There is nothing she can say or do. Rachel Lindsay has to be right. The precedent has been set. You literally cannot do anything besides smile and nod, smile and wave, boys, smile and wave, when Rachel Lindsay talks, because the entire franchise in ABC will tear you apart, just like they did with Chris Harrison. So if she doesn't show up, which I'm sure contractually she's not even allowed to do, she's screwed, and then the public hates her. And if she does show up, she's screwed because Rachel will make sure the public hates her.
It happens either way.
And don't even get me started on Rachel Lindsay. I mean, how many times has she said that she's done with ABC, she's never doing anything with them again, and then she never actually follows through? You know, let me keep criticizing the franchise and say I'm done, but actually I'm not done because I'm a sellout who only cares about the paycheck.
You're poking at the whole foundation of The Bachelor.
Yeah, I went there, whatever. I quit watching the season after like the first 2 episodes, but you better believe that I will be watching the After the Final Rose.
Okay, 30 minutes. We got to get back for The Bachelor.
One of the hottest Hollywood douchers to ever douche, John Mayer, my celebrity crush, says that he almost cried 5 times while watching Framing Britney Spears.
It's like, yeah, tell us what's on your mind, man.
Sorry, just thinking about that Rolling Stone cover for a second. Okay, I'm done.
I'm a big defender of letting young people say stupid shit.
John described his mindset while watching the Hulu doc and said, I mean, I was on the edge of tears 5 times because if you understand what this business / industry / lifestyle does to a person, to go through this and come out the other side okay is to have infinite grace for those who struggle with it.
Who says I can't be free from all of the things that I used to be? Rewrite my history. Who says I can't be free?
This whole exchange went down on Andy Cohen's SiriusXM show, and John went into why he thought that he was able to survive his own tabloid madness of the early 2000s.
And I go, why did I get through that? Why did I find my way through that obstacle course? What was afforded to me stylistically, right? The stylistic difference of being an outlaw. If you're a man, you're an outlaw. If you're a woman, you're kind of crazy. And when I watched that through that lens, my heart just ached the whole time.
This is Britney 20 years ago talking about the very things we're talking about today.
You know, it's really hard on somebody.
Right.
You know, how do you keep that, or do you keep that? You know, that ability to stay, or do you go home at night and crawl in the fetal position and just break down? You know, how do you keep it together? I don't know.
You know, honestly, the way I look at what I do, I look at it as my career, not my life. If you understand what I'm saying? I mean, I look at my family, my sister, my boyfriend, and God. That's my life. So I just I don't take myself so seriously like a lot of people do in this business, you know? Just do it and just have fun with it, you know?
Did you have to learn that? Did you have to learn and sit back and look at yourself and say, you know, maybe I'm going out?
No, I learned it by watching other people.
Did you?
Yeah.
Because I look at people like huge artists who their lives have just fallen apart. You know, today, every day.
I want to talk about Drew Barrymore getting candid about going to the psych ward at 13, but before that, I really want to give a big congratulations to my friend Isabel Brown on releasing her first ever book. Her book, Frontlines, is all about what she endured as a conservative in today's culture on a college campus. If you're in college, read this. If you have kids going to college soon, read this. And even if you're out of college, you need to read this. It will shock you, disturb you, but most of all, encourage you to fight your best fight as a conservative on the front lines of wherever you are in life right now, whether that's at the office or on your own college campus. We'll put a swipe up on our story for you to buy Frontlines by Isabel Brown now, and you can also find it on Amazon and of course anywhere else books are sold. By the way, I'm on the back cover. She used a quote from me, Dennis Prager, and Charlie Kirk on the book. So, can you believe it? A worm like me? What a world. Speaking of books, remember a few months ago I told you how I was looking for Drew Barrymore's autobiography she wrote when she was 14, all about her insane childhood, and it was nearly impossible to find? Well, I did find it, and now I'm almost finished with it, and I think it's so weird that I'm randomly finally reading this book that's like ages old, and Drew just talked about going to the psych ward at 13 after being addicted to cocaine and alcohol on Howard Stern. Drew said she was at this center for a year and a half and that you couldn't mess around in there, and if you did, you would get thrown either in a padded room or get put in stretcher restraints and tied up. She said for 6 to 8 months she was seething with anger, but eventually came to terms with the fact that even though the discipline at this place was extreme, it was probably what she needed after consistently going out all night on drug binges and even stealing her mom's car. At one point, she even flew across the country by herself with a friend just so she could get away from her mom and party.
Where's Mexico?
I need more celeb memoirs, so sprinkle your favorite recommendations in the comments.
What's your favorite scary movie?
All right, political junkie CUTEservatives, it's time to nerd out with your constitutions out. We're getting a series all about the Watergate scandal with Julia Roberts and Sean Penn. Armie Hammer was in it, but he's been, recast since, he eats people now. Just another day in Hollywood.
In hell, everybody loves popcorn.
Okay, and this is by far the most random news of the day, but also I think some of the most interesting. Lana Del Ray is going country, y'all! I seriously cannot wait to hear this. I'm so intrigued. CMT says she's recorded an entire album of country covers. Lana said, I went back and listened to Ride and video games and thought, they're kind of country. I mean, they're definitely not pop. Maybe the way video games got remastered, they're pop, but there's something Americana about it for sure. So let's see how these things come out. I'm not going to have pedal steel guitar on every single thing, but it is easy for me to write. I feel like she's going to give us kind of Casey Musgraves vibes, which definitely suits her. Here's the deal. Lana is very much into classic, old school Americana culture. Country works. I don't have a doubt in my mind that she's gonna crush it. And honestly, I could see her falling in love with it and pulling a Taylor Swift and doing an entire genre change. Here for it. Fun fact, I went to see Lana Del Ray in concert one time. I don't remember a ton of it, to be honest, but I did get a sick picture of me in a flower crown because, of course. All right, all you sports boys and girls, after taking a quick time out last week, the sports recap is back, baby!
Sports!
This week, we are going to talk about the quarterback switcheroo that has taken place in the NFL and who is rumored to go where. Once the season finished up, apparently some guy named Deshaun Watson decided that he didn't want to play for the Houston Texans anymore. His reason? He is petty.
Houston, we have a problem.
He got his panties in a wad because he didn't get any say in who the Texans hired as their new head coach last season. He is good, but at the same time, he hasn't won a Super Bowl or even more than one playoff game, but expects to be treated like Tom Brady.
This wall is magical. You can't touch me.
Anyhow, there are rumors that Watson will end up playing for the Denver Broncos, the Carolina Panthers, Miami Dolphins, or the New York Jets. I kind of hope that he ends up with the Jets and pulls a Mark Sanchez butt fumble. You should also know that besides Watson, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, and Matt Stafford have already jumped to new teams.
That's right. I'm switching sides.
Switching balls to basketball. This year, the NBA came out with new jerseys for each team to tribute the cities that they play in. Most of them unimpressive. However, I did find one that is pink. This gradient, beautiful. I will be cheering for the Heat the rest of the season. I don't know if they're even any good.
This is beautiful.
Thank you so much for all of my nice birthday messages and cards yesterday. That meant so much to me. I love each of you very, very much. I keep all the mail that is sent to me, and one day I hope I have a real office with a wall so I can hang it all up. Of course, you know what to do. Subscribe to POPlitics on Apple Podcasts. Help us grow by leaving a 5-star review. Don't forget to hit the heart, share your thoughts from this episode in the comments, and share this episode to your stories. Hit that save button. We're back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm Alex Clark, and this is POPlitics. Click below to watch yesterday's episode. Please subscribe, thumbs up, share this video, and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss the conservative. And make sure you're following this show at POPlitics on Instagram for even more CUTEservative content.